good. So away we go.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody out there at Natural Health Nation and everybody else. Good to see you again. As you may have figured out by now, is we've kind of bypassed our normal presentations we're doing, and we're kind of working on the coronavirus and information about that, trying to keep people updated a little bit of that, and kind of our view of what that's about. So just as a little history again of natural health, we are a chiropractic-based office, and been in practice now 37 years. So seen quite a bit of things going on. I even was at U of I when the first swine flu thing came through, and that was a big to-do about nothing. So this has got a little more going with it, but it's similar in a lot of ways. We're going to talk about kind of figuring out and explaining to people what the immune system is. Why are we not getting the point in the country? Why are we not seeing that the immune system is important here? We're so busy chasing the bugs that we're not focusing on the immune system at all. So I want to kind of explain what the immune system is to everybody and how it works. So what is our immune system in our body? Does anybody even really know? So we're going to kind of list off the organs and talk about them a little bit here. Back to our history, or background here a little bit. Being a chiropractic-based office, we're looking at the body as a whole. So our philosophy is different here, and then we're looking at what underlying causes people have for their problems. We're not here to treat a condition. We're here to get the body healthy through the nervous system, and then we also, again, in our office, do nutritional work, counseling, nutrition response testing is what I do in the office, and then Dr. Chip does the chiropractic work, or helps with that a lot, and then my other son Eddie, who is our IT guy and does all the hard work behind the scenes, is our energy coach, and he does a lot of emotional work, again, because the emotions emotions and memories become a big drag on the immune system, the body's energy systems. So we have a really good three-pronged approach now to helping people be healthy. And we mean truly healthy. We don't mean just not pain, it's not in pain, but we mean healthy, not on medications, not a need for medications, those kind of things. So we want people to know what health is. So tonight, though, we're not really talking about the coronavirus as much as the other side of the coin, and that's the immune system. And we have to learn to strengthen the immune system up. Now, we're getting information even from patients now that are starting to look at this and understand that they have to have a little more explanation and understanding of what the immune system is about, and will start using becoming more of a priority for them. So while he's figuring that out, I'm going to list the organs of the immune system, and it starts from really the top down. Of course, your brain is a big part. Your brain is what the body, the innate intelligence of the brain is what the body uses to control all the systems. But even beyond that too, the parotid gland produces enzymes that destroy things in your mouth, the bacteria. Now, of course, we're focusing on virus, but we're needing to realize that what I'm going to talk about tonight is really talking about all the pathogens. We're talking about bacteria, viruses, yeast, any kind of toxins in the body, all those kind of things. The immune system has to deal with all that stuff, air pollution, even some EMF issues and those kind of things. So anyway, the parotid gland produces enzymes in the mouth to kill the things in the mouth right away, or they basically digest them away. Tonsils and adenoids. If you remember, there was a time, it's probably been maybe 40, 50 years ago, everybody had their tonsils and adenoids ripped out. It was just kind of the part of the thing. If you had a sore throat, just take your tonsils and adenoids out. Well, of course, that was bad advice. I mean, if they were bad shape, yes, but not just to take them out for no reason, because the tonsils and adenoids are one of your first lines of defense. You're basically a lymph node, and help the body to get rid of the bacteria that comes in through the nasal passages and through the oral cavity. So tonsils and adenoids are really important for that. Another one is the gut, the pH of the body, the acidity of the body. If the body's a certain pH, these buggies can't get anywhere. They don't get anything. If your body's not the right pH, though, it actually allows these things to grow more. So the pH is really important. So if your stomach acid is not correct, if you're on proton pump inhibitors, those kind of things, it's going to change the pH. It's going to allow the bugs to get out of control. When we get into the microbiome here in a little bit, we'll talk more about that in more detail. But I'm not going to be here. It'll probably be done in a half an hour or less if possible. The liver, of course, very important for all your detox work. Liver has a lot to do with sugar handling. All kind of things the liver does. It's your chemical lab to the body, your liver. So important. And most livers are overloaded. So anybody with allergy problems, skin conditions, bad sinuses, that's an indication of liver problems, liver overload. Your spleen is a big lymphatic organ for the blood and blood purifying and filtering. The bone marrow, kind of similar to the spleen, has a lot to do with those kind of things. The thymus gland here, we've been told that the thymus gland is only active as a child. Well, finally, that's not true. The thymus gland, really important for producing a lot of the antigens and things we're going to talk about here as we get into the systems of the immune system. The other big one I kind of missed was the thyroid gland. Really important that the thyroid has good function, that you're getting iodine to help the thyroid to work correctly so your body has energy and a lot of good hormones the thyroid produces, not just thyroxine, other things it does too. And of course, all your lymph glands and nodes. People talk about when your glands are swollen, or even like people that have any kind of problem under the arms, or and even in the groin. A lot of lymph nodes there, even behind the knees, a lymph gland. So that's when when those swell, the body's fighting infections, and that you have to have that for the body to work correctly. Important to work with those. That's kind of the basic rundown on the actual structures of the lymph or the immune system, organs of the immune system. So now we're going to go into kind of how the systems work. And this is from Dr. Shiva's video, and I'm going to put this on our post here, that you can go check this out yourself. I'm not going to go into all the detail he does. I'm not going to get into some of the politics involved there, but we've got to kind of present this tonight in a fashion that's very simple, or as simple as we can get it, and explain it to patients so that you can understand how at Natural Health we can help these things. Because as you're finding it in the mainstream media, and again, nothing against what they do, they're just not looking at it from that point of view. They want to wait till you've got a problem, and then they'll support you. But let's just not get the problem in the first place. Let's help to build your immune system, and again, work towards lymphatic drainage, all those kind of things. So let's go ahead and get into this. And you can also ask questions there. We're live on Facebook and Instagram. You can ask questions in the comment section. We'll also post this on YouTube and Brighteon.com eventually too. So we'll get into this. This is the immune system as it is taught to MDs now. And again, just so you get the point that we're not having an issue with the individual MD. He's doing his best job. He's trying very hard to help people. Has a big heart, and now these guys are on the front lines and helping a lot of sick people. It's just what they're being taught. And again, what they're being taught, the thing is 70 to 100 years old, this paradigm that you're seeing right here. It's very simplified. And it's not near as complete as you'll see on the next slide as to what you need to know to keep yourself healthy. And this is a good place to start. It's got parts, but it's not the whole thing. So we'll start with these two boxes here. The innate immune system, which is kind of the glands I'm talking about here, and the skin. Again, I should have mentioned too, the skin is a major immune system organ too, all your skin. So anyway, this is the innate immune system. Again, it's kind of the automatic system that just is right there, always ready. It's all revved up, ready to go. So when the viruses come in, or any pathogen, now again, we're kind of thinking about the coronavirus right now, but we're talking about any bacteria or yeast, any toxin, whatever, any pathogen, what's called an antigen, then that comes into the innate immune system. And this is within the 0 to 72 hours, the first 3 days. It's the first contact. And usually this comes into the nose, the eyes, the GI system, the lungs, skin or whatever, any kind of infection, if there's a cut, that kind of stuff. thing going on there. And the innate immune system has already these artillery, which are the neutrophils, the dendritic cells, and macrophages. These things are already roaming around everywhere, trying to find foreign invaders. And this is kind of like the artillery. It's kind of like blowing up things. And you get a lot of snot produced from this and all kinds of things. That's the mucus being produced when the body goes into this non-specific agent response. And in our world, if we can get people, the immune system built up, this is as far as it goes. Most of the time, many of our patients who get the flu, they'll be over it. That's the 24-hour flu or the 12-hour flu, whatever. If your body can fight it off pretty quick, it doesn't get into the adaptive immune side. The adaptive side is more for long-term worse things, that kind of stuff. So then we'll go into this, and then the innate immune system, if it gets a problem the body can't handle, it goes into this adaptive immune system. Now this is the infantry, where the body develops in the thymus gland and these organs I talked about. Some of these organs, the T cells and B cells, the T killer cells and the B cells. And these things are the infantry. They're directly going to shoot. They're going right after these individual antigens that are coming in. They're producing these antibodies, again, which are the things that are killing off these viruses and pathogens, the antigens. So you have the antibodies reduced to the antigens. And so this is the very simplified system, and it's true. It's just that it's only part of it. Now I'm going to make a couple comments in that I'm not going to go into it in depth, but Dr. Shiva does a great job in his video on this, because we're looking at a vaccine as the way to handle this coronavirus. And again, it's a short-sighted way of looking at things. And if you use a vaccine, it only works right on the adaptive immune side. You're going to bypass the skin and all our organs of immunity. So we're right into the adaptive immune system. We're going to produce these antigens to the virus, but you've bypassed all the other parts here, and you're just going to get a little bit of an antigen produced. And again, this is assuming that your immune system is working. The vaccines assume that your immune system is already working, but there's not many people in this country that don't have a chronic disease or not on some kind of medication or something. They're already immune suppressed, immune deficient, immune weakened. So, the vaccines won't work if the immune system is not working correctly in the first place. Anyway, that gives you the old view, the current mainstream view. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, and we'll go into a few more things. So this is the modern immune system view, which has only been known the last 20 years around there somewhere. And this is known at the scientific level, the PhD level, but has not reached the people that make the textbooks that go into medical colleges. It's not there. Again, the MDs right now are very busy. They don't have time to research this stuff. And they're held to by what all of them do. So they have a standard they have to deal with, and that's what they're doing. They're not looking at this as a whole. So let's go through it a little bit more. Again, here are our innate immune system, what we just talked about, the adaptive immune system that we had talked about, but a lot more going on here. There's also the interferon system, which makes your interferon beta and alpha and gamma and lambda, which are cells that fight these things in more of the infantry, very much more involved with what's going on there, and very much more individual to the problem that's coming in there. There is a feedback mechanism from the adaptive immune system to the interferon system to the innate immune system, a feedback that keeps you from having autoimmune disease. Because if you fired all this up and nothing ever fed back, it would just keep going more and more. So there has to be a negative feedback system, which there is, if it's working. If it's not working, then you have autoimmune problems. And that's a different topic. But anyway, that's where it comes from. Now, two other big systems that are just hugely important are the microbiome, the gut there, There are 10 trillion bacteria there. These numbers are kind of in there somewhere. Everybody has different numbers, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot more bacteria in your gut than there is cells in your body. And there's a lot of viruses in the gut too. So, and when we talk about bacteria, there's a lot of different bacteria. And you want the good ones. That's what like lactobacillus, things we use in probiotics, that's the good ones that you want to have in the gut. We're going to come back to that in a minute. We also have the neural system that controls all this too. So real important to understand all that too. And again, we talked about the different kind of cells in the other slide, but that's all part of this one too. We kind of kept that out because it gets so confusing here. And then there's also information coming from the gut microbiome to the adaptive system, back and forth, and then also to the neural system.
There's a misspelling here.
Misspelling there. It's okay.
That's okay.
Take the T out. No biggie. It's not the neutral. It's the neural.
It's your brain.
Yeah, it's the brain. Yeah, brain and that whole neural system. So anyway, So there's lots of feedback, and the vagus nerve is one of those that Dr. Chip has talked about in other videos. That is a direct connection between the brain and the gut, and so there's a lot of communication there. So real quickly, let's go into a little more detail in the microbiome. Again, I talked about the pH before. If the pH is not right, the microbiome, the bacteria, different bacteria and different viruses live in different pHs. They can only survive in certain ones. So if you have your microbiome and if you're eating good things, if your stomach is working correctly, this is one how well if you're producing stomach acid. This is how younger people get by with these things because they usually produce good stomach acid. If you're not eating junk food and things, but it keeps your pH correct, then your microbiome works out well, and you have good bacteria and good yeast in there. Not much yeast, but what's there is good, and then the good viruses don't bother anything. If, though, you start eating processed foods, junk foods, sugars, all that kind of stuff, the pH changes, and the bad bacteria show up, and it allows yeast to come out, yeast to grow and proliferate. That's why we have yeast infections, candida, all that business that you totally didn't hear anything about right now, but it's still a very big problem. Or parasites. Parasites are in there too, and they produce both the yeast, fungus, mold, and the parasites produce toxins that kill off a lot of the part of the innate immune system because that's what's trying to attack them. So they're producing toxins to try to kill off the innate immune system that way. So that's a big deal. The microbiome is just something that's only really been talked about the last 20 years, but it's huge. It's so big that you really need to know about it and treat people for that all the time here, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail. So really important, the microbiome. I'm trying not to forget all these little points that I want to bring out so people can understand this better. We talked about the pH. We talked about that. In the neural system, again, that's the brain and spinal cord and all the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system that controls all this. So, just going into this, how does natural health, what we do here at Natural Health, have to do with any of this stuff? How can we help? So the idea is, on the chiropractic side, your neural system has to be working correctly for that to be able to control. So if the brain cannot get impulses from the brain through the spinal nerves because of misalignments in the spine, then like a garden hose, where you crimp the garden hose, everything downhill from the garden where that crimp is, it doesn't work well. It doesn't grow good. It doesn't get what it needs to get. So when we reduce subluxations here, not only are we helping neck and back pain, which everybody knows that chiropractic helps that, but way beyond that is we're restoring normal nerve function and getting the innate intelligence of the body to get nerve supply to these areas that can help the immune system to work correctly. Do you have any comment on that right now, or want to wait till later?
Just kind of stating too is that with the nervous system being the brain, when you're stressed out more, your attention, your energy is off the immune system. It's away from your body. Just talking more in general about energy, if we're placing our attention and our energy outside of us, say with the media or kind of fearful of different things, then we are placing our energy there. And so our body is very adaptable to certain stress, that we're going to take away the blood that's normally with our immune system and shunt it out to our bigger muscles to go to kind of defend yourself from that stress. However, the immune system takes a lot of energy every day. Your immune system's fighting off bugs every day. And so it's just like when you do get sick, it's hard to get out of bed. You feel sluggish, tired, feel like you hit a brick wall. It's because the immune system is very energy heavy there. So it's always important to make sure that stress is alleviated, and chiropractic has been shown to positively influence the brain in that way.
Great. I think while we're talking about that, I'll kind of chime in for Eddie, our energy coach here. So if fear is a thing that is a recycling subconscious loop that we've had, you fear this, fear that, all this kind of thing, just what Dr. Chip talked about, these fears and these memories become a negative emotion to the body. The body's constantly feeding these fears and stresses and emotions and memories, and it's taking that energy away from the immune system. So like we talked about, if you're sick, what do? You go rest because you're tired. Well, again, your immune system, by that point, it says, we don't have any more energy. You either got to fight this or you're going to, not do very well. So we want you to fight this, so we're going to make you tired, go to bed, rest, sleep, and get your body repaired. And again, so with the emotional work we do, with the chiropractic work we're doing there, getting the nervous system to be at optimum, getting good energy. Now, the other side of that too, or right along with that, the same side, is the microbiome. When as far as the nutritional work that we're doing, we're testing people to find out what foods are causing them to have irritable bowel, but a leaky gut. And leaky gut is a problem with the microbiome getting out of kilter with the allergens from the foods, the proteins there causing inflammation in the body. Everything is helter-skelter into this microbiome. So we're doing a lot of work with diet in the office here to help patients figure out what foods they should or should not have. A good example is the nightshade group. Some people just can't handle nightshades, and that's potatoes and peppers and things like that. So everybody has a different diet you need to be on. But beyond that then is our supplement lines that we carry. These supplements help to restore the integrity of the gut, help to rid the body of toxins and detoxify the body, help to get the neurology to get back on track if there's heavy metals that are poisoning the nervous system. We find if the immune system needs direct support for virus, to helping the immune system to handle viruses, to handle bacteria, to handle yeast and mold and fungus, and to get this all straightened out so the immune system has the energy it needs to fight off whatever the outside is giving us, whatever it is. So, for example, just to kind of, you'll see this in some of the reports, but in Wuhan, China, where this supposedly started, it's a very polluted city. A lot of pollution. China has a lot of problems with pollution, all the toxins and things from that. They're a big 5G EMF deal there. So I mean, they got a lot of problems going on there already. So so that's why that shows up as a problem there. Why it may have started there or whatever. But in natural health here in Quincy, Illinois, what we're trying to help patients to do is get their microbiome in good shape, so the nervous system works great, get all these things working like it's supposed to, and the body has good health to work with, getting itself well, keeping yourself vibrant, being able to chase grandkids around, playing tennis, playing golf, all the kind of things you want to do, gardening, all that kind of stuff, not getting older and falling apart and all this kind of stuff, actually being vibrant. Our bodies are meant to be well until it's time to go, and then it should kick off. That shouldn't be, a lot of this laying in waste for the last 20 years of your life and not knowing who you are and all this stuff. So a lot of things I probably shouldn't get into. So anyway, that's kind of the layout of that. Anything else you can think of?
Got a question.
Okay.
Got a question. How much echinacea should I take a day?
Echinacea is a great herb to take. The way echinacea works, it works on lots of different levels. One of the big things it does, it helps to move vitamin C complex in the body. So what we do in our office is during our nutrition response testing techniques, we figure out how much vitamin C you need to take with the echinacea. So there's no really set amount that I can just say, well, you need to take 2 pills a day. And you wouldn't know what 2 pills, you wouldn't know what manufacturer. So the idea there is we can become very specific, and that's what we do here at Natural Health is try to figure out what exactly does that body need to be well. The big thing is that if you've got echinacea, by all means take it. It's not going to hurt anything. If it doesn't work like you think, though, it's because either 1, you're not digesting it, 2, you don't have enough vitamin C complex in the body for it to work correctly. And then other things could be you're not absorbing it, there's toxins in the body, all kinds of other things that we need to work on. That's one of the things with nutrition that I've seen in these 37 years. People have tried so much nutrition, they've tried all kinds of companies, and again, it's not usually the nutrition that's the problem, unless it's poorly made nutrition, which a lot of it is. But it's not really that, it's the body's ability to absorb and digest it and utilize it becomes the problem. So echinacea is a great product. But to tell you exactly what you would need, that's a kind of a question for the air there.
Is using a steam humidifier good?
Steam humidifiers are great. You want to keep your air humid in the house, especially at nighttime. You should especially use those in your bedroom at night to make sure that your nasal and lung passages don't dry out. A lot of times in the wintertime, if we're running the furnaces, the air dries. So you want to keep humidifiers going. The steam are the cold ones. Either one is fine. You're not going to have the steam in your face, so you don't want that steam in your face. You just want it in the air. So either one is good. The problem you have to watch with them is to make sure they don't get fungus or mold developing in the filters and the systems there. And in our office, we use tea tree oil. Put a drop or 2 or 3 of that per gallon of the water, and that helps to keep that disinfected there. And some people use essential oils. Again, essential oils are good for certain things, but some people react to them because a lot of times they're too strong. So you have to be kind of careful with those. But a lot of good things results with essential oils in there too. But yeah, definitely humidifiers are great. Thanks for the question there. Any other questions?
At the moment.
Okay, good. Think of anything else you want to comment on?
I just wanted to add too is that again we're not saying that there's anything good or bad. We just see it this way. It's the same coin. Again, it's good to kind of distance yourself with other things, wash your hands, take all those right steps there. But it's also how we see it helpful to build your body strong so that you're able to defend yourself from these buggies that are going to come in and any of these viruses or anything. Your body should be healthy. It's your natural state is health. So that's what we're trying to do here at Natural Health is just help you get back to your natural state and help kind of unleash your healing potential.
Great. I think that's about all we have for tonight. If you have more questions, you can always send those in, and we'll answer those later. But again, the next health shop, Sun Health Importance, that's what we have set. We'll see how things go. If we need to talk more about the immune system, we have more questions, or people want more information about this. Because people are really starting to kind of, they wake up into the point of how important the other side of the coin is. Because let's face it, I mean, we're going to have flu seasons every year, and how many of these things have we went through? The swine flu, bird flu, swine flu twice. We got the MRSA, the SARS. We got HIV, all these things, and these viruses and things are around. So do we want to go through this containment stuff all the time? And we're going to have to learn how to strengthen our immune system. Hopefully, in our world, we're trying to change the healthcare paradigm. We kind of feel that it's broke in a way that we're too focused on the bugs and on treatment. And we need to be focused more on health and healing and getting the body in prevention, and at least as important as the treatment. So we're not seeing anything wrong with the treatment. We're not saying there's anything wrong with what we're doing right now. It's just that you have to look at the other side of the coin because it's important for the body to be healthy. Again, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like us, subscribe to our channel. And I noticed the other day somebody talked about hit the bell so you get notification when we add one of these. We add one of these every week. We'll probably add a couple more. I got a couple more in my head to put on, and we'll have this also on YouTube and Brighteon.com eventually, but probably by tomorrow. So again, any questions? Happy to help. Love the questions, and if we can do anything for you or anything for your friends or family, love to help them. Now's the time because people are actually thinking about this stuff, and it's time to kind of get this into your priority set. So anyway, have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Dr. Chip.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Eddie. Have a good one.